guys, I'm Alanah and welcome to Button Bash. Before I get into my Assassin's Creed Unity review right now, I should mention that I've said some kind of nasty things about the cash cow that Assassin's Creed has become, so when I say I like Unity, I'm as surprised as you are. I played it on the Xbox One, though it is also available on the PlayStation 4 and on PC. So, Unity. It's set in Paris during the French Revolution, but none of that really matters. The Paris part doesn't even really matter outside of the landmark since, for whatever reason, nearly everyone is English. The story follows Arnaud Dorian, an also questionably English French nobleman who does virtually everything ever in the interest of wooing a lady, Elise. Regular modern-day Assassins vs Abstergo missions are still there if you're familiar with those, but this is the first Assassin's Creed game where you never actually leave the Animus, or the simulation of history for those who aren't familiar. All of these missions take place just kind of as noise though, really. They just involve the Animus screwing up and you jumping between different time frames in France and running to a thing. While the story is one of the easiest to follow of all the AC games, it's also one of the most forgettable, not really holding the same grand sense of scale as previous titles. Everything is done for the girl, and it almost like disrespects the creed and how stubbornly flippant Arnaud is regarding it. Even the necessary double cross, because there's always at least one in every Assassin's Creed game, is horribly predictable, and after it happens pretty much means nothing. There are loose ends and plot holes aplenty, but getting your way through that journey is fundamentally different. This seems like a weird thing to have to say regarding a series about assassins 6 games in, but Unity actually has a stealth focus. A lot of the missions involve infiltrating a heavily guarded building and finding someone within, all the while avoiding guards, creating distractions outside objectives, disabling arm bells, and sometimes even aiding some people in the same area so they'll help you out in tough combat. The game has a cover mechanic allowing you to take cover behind things and swap between cover. You also enter a stealth mode by pulling the left trigger, which also causes you to move slower and presumably more quietly. And there's a particularly notable feature that allows you to see your last known location. This is Unity's alternative to whistling in the previous Assassin's Creed games. You basically intentionally walk into a guard's line of sight so he'll become suspicious and notice you, then walk out of it, causing a transparent outline of yourself to appear where he last saw you. You can lure guards into rooms using your last known location, or around corners, or away from you as you flank from behind. This feature, along with the setting that usually involves heaps of rooms, corridors, levels, locked doors, and windows, make Unity feel like one giant heist. There are so many ways to approach each building and each scenario that it feels like a lot more freedom is there than in previous titles. Unfortunately, a lot of these missions seem to take place in the exact same buildings, which feels like a bit of a waste. That said, the AI is pretty pathetic. While I really enjoyed the challenge of single-handedly breaking into a heavily guarded fortress and taking down the one guy I needed to amidst a barrage of guards, maybe most of what I refer to as stealth was actually just successfully manipulating a really dumb AI. If I caught the attention of too many guards, I could just run around frantically for a while until I lost them around a corner, and then hide in a closet or something, and they'd all forget I was ever there, even if that closet was the only thing in a room with only one entrance and no windows, even if I couldn't have gone anywhere else. Speaking of frantically running around though, there's still plenty of climbing buildings and jumping across rooftops in Assassin's Creed Unity. There aren't any of those stupidly tedious eavesdrop missions, and there are very few auto-fail tailing missions, with one of those actually involving you chasing a hot air balloon across the city, which was just awesome. But climbing is still a great way to get around. The free running in Assassin's Creed Unity seems to do a lot of things you just don't want it to, with you jumping the wrong way or onto something you don't actually want to, but on the plus side, it now actually features a down option. Holding down the B button on an Xbox controller will automatically make Arnaud free run towards the ground, making you much less likely to jump off a building to your death accidentally. Another major difference is the ability to unlock skills as you complete missions, allocating your earned points between ranged, melee, stealth, and health skills. You won't have earned enough points to unlock every skill available before you finish the actual main story, so you do actually need to cater your choices to your playstyle. I quickly upgraded lockpicking, health, and my one-handed weapon skills. Unity also lets you purchase individual clothing upgrades in order to give your skills certain boosts, like pants that are really stealthy. Those are some stealthy pants. I didn't pay too much attention to this for whatever reason, but I'm sure plenty of others will, and character customization is a welcome addition to the franchise. There's also just heaps to do in Unity. It's a huge game. The side quests range from the most mundane hostage situations to solving riddles to solving murder mysteries that actually take quite a lot of thought by surveying evidence and interviewing suspects. It's kind of overwhelmingly large on a similar scale to Assassin's Creed 2, but as a result is probably great value. I didn't get any time to do any of the co-op missions, for example, so I might have to make a separate review for those. Where the game is really poor value is, as I'm sure you've heard, the bugs. Unity crashed 3 times while I was playing. Once crashed my entire console, just completely turning it off. It glitched bad enough twice that I had to quit and reload, but there are also plenty of fairly minor animation glitches. Lots of people levitating. The bugs seem to be overstated on social media, but they are certainly there, even if most of them are kind of laughably excusable. There are pretty consistent frame rate issues when there are a large amount of NPCs on screen, which can be really off-putting, and it's easily one of the buggiest big budget games I've ever played, and while I didn't care all that much, I'm sure plenty of others will. Other flaws: there are misleading microtransactions in the equipment menus, asking you to hack things to make them cheaper, but really it just redirects you to pay actual money for them. You also have to get an app to unlock some of the in-game chests, which is just ridiculous. There are loads of stupidly long loading screens, and the most annoying thing I found is notifications popping up when you're trying to read important text, which specifically happens in the murder mystery missions, completely hiding the text you're trying to read. You just have to wait for the database notification to go away before you can continue, since there's no option to hide it, and they pop up all the damn time. So there's a good mix of good and bad here. Paris is beautiful, and seeing the city evolve in time with the revolution is satisfying, even when the story isn't particularly. There are gameplay improvements and some gameplay flaws, and there's heaps to do, but there are also heaps of glitches. So because Unity is such a mixed bag, it's really hard for me to unanimously recommend it. If you are interested, Assassin's Creed Unity is currently available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and on PC. I'm Alanah, and thanks for watching Button Bash.